In this video, I'm going to be checking out Rogue Company, a third-person tactical shooter, and giving my honest thoughts, feelings, and opinions on this game after playing it for the first time. Just like what I usually do with these videos, I'll aim to inform you about the things that I think you might want to know about, especially as a first-time player. Before we do that though, there's just something that I want to clear up. I did get a comment recently asking why I name these reviews honest review, cause do I also give a dishonest review? The reason why I title my videos this way is because I do not get any kickback from these videos. I don't have promotion codes, I'm not sponsored by any of these games, or any companies that they're associated with. Therefore, you can always rely on my opinion, it's just what I think. And like always, I do encourage people to leave their own thoughts, feelings and opinions on this game down in the comments, and especially if it's something important that they think I missed out. So with that said, let's get on with it, and first and foremost I will say that this game is a free-to-play game. It's cross-platform as it on by default and you can't turn it off. I know this might seem like a little bit of a turn off and discourage you from playing. Some PC players don't like to be paired in with people on controller because the aim assist, and it can also go the other way too, where it's easier to access cheats on PC, so some console players don't like to be paired in with PC lobbies, which is understandable both ways. Also, not to mention, in some games crossplay can actually be kind of a disadvantage or an advantage to one or two platforms over the other. However, I don't think there's any hit detection compensation in this game for one platform over the other. There doesn't seem to be any prioritization for any platform. This game's synchronization and response to players' inputs seems to me anyway to be above board no matter what input device you choose to go with. I did play this game both on keyboard and mouse as well as controller, however the gameplay footage that you are watching right now is going to be me on controller because it's from the first hour and a half of gameplay, and I just decided to first jump in and use a controller on this game because I like to play casually. I normally show about the first hour or two of gameplay anyway because I think it best represents what you can expect as a newcomer. I found myself doing really good in this game, and I think that does come down to the aim assist type in this game, which to me doesn't feel overly powerful. It gets you to where you need to be and then you can do the rest. It doesn't suffer with the syndrome of being too sticky, and in multiple target situations you can actually choose who you're going to shoot at and actually make decisions. I don't know though, some people might think it's too powerful for this type of game, but I could break out of that aim assist bubble quite easily, and in any shooter game that's what I look for. So in this game there are hero style characters in the form of agents that have their own abilities. They say unique abilities, but some of them I've seen before. Some of the character design of these rogue agents do have a lot of personality to them. I actually do like the style of this game and what they're going for. Also, on a similar note, the map design is actually pretty good too. I really do like the fact that you can use a zipline and shoot at the same time. It really does make you feel like a badass when you actually do it. This game visually does look nice. I was playing at 1080p in ultra settings with a GTX 980 Ti, and I was getting enough frames to feel competitive without feeling too much input lag, which is a concern when you do up the settings on older cards, and I have actually read that some people with older generation cards do struggle with performance on this game, but I just didn't personally find it that way. I also read somewhere that the community was pretty annoyed with this game and the way they did the updates. With the updates of like the Season 1 Battle Pass not actually addressing any of the issues that the community had with the game, instead focusing on the microtransactions, which honestly Hi-Rez Studios do have a little bit of reputation of doing that. But other than optimization and performance, I think a lot more of the complaints are on the matchmaking side of this game, which we will talk about more in a second. I would just like to point out that the optimization and performance for me, I honestly didn't see any bugs throughout this game. Overall, it ran smooth. Okay, so onto the issue that the community had with the matchmaking. It would seem that low-level players or new players just coming to the game were paired with really experienced veteran players, and the teams were so unbalanced they were just getting stomped. And the way that the devs actually dealt with this was the reason why some people stopped playing. Instead of sorting out the matchmaking problem, the devs instead turned off the ability to actually see someone's level at the end of a game. I believe that they have done further tweaks to it, especially in ranked, but the casual side definitely seems to have some issues in this area, well, from my experience. For instance, I was using a brand new character with zero mastery to its name, and then the team that I was going up up against had 3 players that had full mastery of their characters. In order to get to Mastery 1, just playing Team Deathmatch like I was doing, I had to go up to level 10 in order to do that. There are 10 levels to hit full mastery. If someone is just playing Team Deathmatch with one character, that would mean even if they are a lot faster than me at leveling up, which there are different shortcuts in order to do that, they will probably be at least a level 100 because, well, they've probably played other characters too. Don't get me wrong, even against these players I held my own, just because my experience in, well, shooter games, as you know, but how is that fair to a newcomer who hasn't experienced the game before? Maybe they're not even used to shooter games. I also noticed once my overall stats hit a 2KD, this game then responded by treating me like I was the chosen one, the one that was going to bring balance to every match that I played. I had to switch over to keyboard and mouse at this point and absolutely sweat my ass off, just to remain positive and go from a 60% win rate to about a 30. Yikes, this game's matchmaking is not good. Although I would actually find this to be kind of enjoyable because I do like to challenge myself. On that note, the better your stats become, the better you become at the game. You will also find it harder to find matches, with my matchmaking time going from about 2 to 3 minutes all the way up to 15 minutes. I think this will be different for everyone, and because of cross-play functionality, I do think the average player might be able to get into a game pretty fast. Overall, there are 3 major game modes that you can play that are consistently playable, and then also some limited time modes. There isn't a ton of modes to play, but overall, I would say that the game modes that are available are pretty enjoyable. Strikeout is a 4 vs 4 round-based, team-based game where each team has a number of tickets for the amount of times that they can die, and they're supposed to take one area of the map. The amount of lives are actually counted for the entire team, not just the individual, so this does mean if you're paired with a team that just runs in and dies, even if you do die only once during a round, you could still end up losing, and I find that the matchmaking in this mode in particular was probably the worst that I experienced. Team Deathmatch, on the other hand, is the game mode that I probably enjoyed most, and it's a 6 vs 6. In this mode too, I did have to carry just as much as Strikeout, but without the objective there to play, it just felt way more ideal for me and my playstyle. Then there's Demolition, which is the equivalent to Search and Destroy and COD, or the classic Counter-Strike mode. In all game modes, you buy upgrades to your rogue agent, such as weapon upgrades, equipment and utility upgrades, such as your lethals and tacticals, and also you can get upgrades for your agent in the form of perks. I do like this buy menu style, and it's good to see in a game again. Depending on your performance throughout a game, you can get, well, upgrades faster, and some of them make you really powerful early on. Overall, I did enjoy the gunplay, I did enjoy the game. I think it offers quite a lot of diversity in terms of the maps, diversity in terms of the rogue agents that you can play as, weapon variety, and also customization. I do like the movement system in the game with the crouching and the dodging being separate. I like the fact that some agents move slower but are tougher. In other words, it offers enough diversity to cater to a person's playstyle. You can play defensive, you can play aggressive, you can flank your enemy. There's definitely going to be a rogue agent for you no matter the way that you play. I honestly believe, despite the matchmaking, that the gameplay is balanced, so if like me you can overlook that, or maybe you enjoy the extra added challenge, then this game will be very enjoyable. You can also party up to the max players on each team. This means that you can actually have a 6-player party in a team deathmatch. That is another thing as a solo player that you might have to deal with, especially once this game starts treating you like the chosen one, and your allies look like they haven't even played a shooter game before, looking at the floor, shooting up in the air. That's a good example of some of the teammates that I actually had. Despite some of the negativity and grey areas that we have talked about during this video, I am going to go ahead and say that I do recommend Rogue Company. I did actually enjoy this game, and probably will continue to play it. You know, because the matchmaking, I am really looking forward to actually playing this as a party with a few friends, because maybe the matchmaking might get a little bit more balanced that way. Maybe the balance system is more about parties because, well, of ranked and stuff like that. I don't know, I'm curious to see how that goes. Anyway, let me know down in the comments what you think about Rogue Company, whether you enjoy this game. Again, please mention anything that you think I've left out that you think is vital, important as new players to know. Oh yeah, it costs 20k by the way to unlock any agent, which in itself can be kind of a grindfest to unlock the new agents. I almost forgot to mention that. Anyway, if you enjoyed today's video, then please smash the like button. Also get subscribed if you are new to the channel. I will be doing more free-to-play games in the future, so I hope you can come along for that journey. With that said, I have been Tech, the one and only, and I will see you in the next video.